you want to pick and choose who can have a gun. If you just because you had a felony in the Second Amendment, when they done that, they didn't say everyone can have a gun but felonies. That wasn't in the Second Amendment. So it's all geared on certain people.
Okay, let's take that.
All right, well, this is actually very interesting. In the founding era, there were only a limited class of felons that were known to not have the right to arms. We have an insane overcriminalization problem in the United States. You can get a felony for just about anything, okay? I don't think that somebody who got caught with, a big bag of weed in a state that it's not legal yet, or any amount of cocaine, has proven that they don't have a right to defend themselves. I think you're completely right, and this problem disproportionately affects poor and minority people who are fed directly into the prison systems through ineffective and adversarial policing. I think you're completely right, and the Second Amendment refers to the right of the people. It's not just citizens, it's not just rich people, it's the people. Everybody has the right to control their own body, to control their autonomy, and not be the victim. Hey, I really appreciate your question. I really appreciate you coming out with your concerns so candidly. There's a few, you said a lot of stuff. Other countries, that's an apples to oranges comparison. We made the decision at our founding and we decided that people in this country will never be without the right to determine their own bodily autonomy. That was a decision that was made. And it was after the founders had fought a bloody and horrible war against people that were their brothers right before, against people that were their brothers right before, against people that were their brothers right before.
Real politics is simply in deferral. Mm-hmm. All politics is now deferral of strange forces. And so about a year into this process, once I stopped listening to my lawyers telling me, any day, I was realizing, okay, this is it. It's just going to be this permanent deferral. We will have to mount a challenge. We will have to build a team together, and we will have to build a war chest to officially challenge this in the language of the state in constitutional terms, bring a facial constitutional challenge.
Just to be clear on the basic facts, this was coming from the State Department?
That's right. There's a bureau in the State Department which administers the Arms Export Control Act.
Right.
So this isn't DOD, it's not the Army, it's not ATF, it's the State Department. And curiously, they look at a power of foreign affairs and say, well, if Americans do this and do too much of this and speak too publicly about this, it interferes with the executive's power to administer foreign affairs, or to be a good executive of foreign affairs. So because a foreigner could download the Liberator plans, no American has the right to download the Liberator plans. This is the literal argument in court, and it's not a difficult one. If it was about dildos, if it was about birth control, if Saudi Arabia didn't want its citizens to be able to download plans for birth control on the internet, do you think I would be in court for 3 years at this point? We know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
So here's something, hold on, here's something to look at. United States District Court, Matt LaRosiere versus Cody Wilson, and then Defense Distributed versus the Catalog, which is the countersuit. So, this is no run-of-the-mill Copyright Act dispute, as LaRosiere. It is a full-fledged criminal racketeering enterprise called the Catalog. Cody was doing was what DefCat is doing is they are uploading files and they're giving proper credits for the files. And then Matthew, this lawyer in Florida, says, how dare you pretend that I'm involved, right, when I'm not getting paid for these files. When it's really just to give credit where credit is due. It's not to pretend to be somebody else. Okay, who's John Ellick? That's Ivan the Troll, right? Okay, here's Alexander Holiday. Peter Celentano. That's, remember that guy that wouldn't give up his name? Let's take a look at him. Okay, after Cody paid for his lawyer. Let's take a look at this guy. This Freeman guy, remember, he wouldn't use his real name. He was pleaded guilty for illegal possession of machine guns. He was found, let's take a look. He was found, maybe he should have just showed up to court. Okay, he, dear Lord, 200 firearms, automatic weapons, is that the catalog has some interesting cohorts.
Funny that you would say, like, well, you're part of the maker movement. Boy, I was never made to feel that way.
Right.
And I was never consciously represented as that. If anything, there's been, in the beginning of our project, there was a fight with the traditional crowd, the gun control crowd, the kind of political crowd, and then this other fight with the people who were supposed to be kind of working with the same technology as us. This total, well, an extirpation, really. I mean, purging everything that we're doing from their message boards, administrators telling people not to link to our content, right, on the cultural level. And then on the higher level, the level of the masthead publications like the magazine, Make Magazine, this level of curating our content, telling that what we were doing was an abortion of their principles, and we were really kind of mucking it up for everybody. While simultaneously, I began to realize in consumption of their own media, oh my God, we are the promise of their movement. If anything of what they said was true, then it was that, like, we were reindustrializing, we were doing actual real physical things, making like useful objects with their technology, and then propelling those into other people's hands who actually wanted to use them. Look, this project around you right here is perhaps the most successful living open hardware project. This is what a maker project should be. You can go to conferences where they all scratch each other's heads and look at each other, stare at each other in the face and go, how can we make open hardware work? Well, you have to find a good application. You have to deliver something to people that they actually want, and that's often constrained politically. There's like superficial political scarcity, okay? There's no patents, design patents, utility patents, copyright, there's nothing on these devices. These are open platforms. We sell them by the thousands and we make money on them. We propel ourselves into lawsuits and we do R&D. This is an open hardware project, and yet we are not claimed by this movement. We're not claimed by this movement because we openly reach for the political in the beginning. We say making means this. It doesn't mean this kind of just permanent diversion into nostalgia, this permanent diversion into the sandbox of late adolescence, even well into your adulthood. Grow out your neck beard, play Minecraft, and kind of sing about how you built something out of Legos today, right? This is to be ridiculed on this level, right? You have to grab like the importance and the urgency of your moment.
Right.
And I thought the most harsh thing I ever said in the book about the makers was that their revolt was not Luciferian, it was not serious. The flagship machine of the maker movement in 2012 was called the Cupcake CNC. These aren't serious people. Right.
And I mean, let's talk about what you are doing here in opposition to, the Cupcake CNC.
Well, but to be clear, right? My words are critical, but I don't style us as in opposition to the makers. Okay. They do not form a part of the horizon of our ambitions. They're simply a kind of unhappy, sad little thing worth talking about. The arrows and sticks that they threw are so inconsequential now. I mean, we run this shit, man.
Yeah, but
we run this shit, man.
Yeah, but we run this shit, man.
Yeah, but